Morning, everybody. Today is April 12th, and I've got several videos for you. This is just the first one. Let's start. I've had a lot of questions lately about energy work. So let's talk about it. First of all, when we say energy work here, we aren't obviously talking about kinetic energy, electrical, chemical energy. We're talking about internal energy, or what in Tai Chi we call Xing. So when we talk about the Qi and moving the Qi, there are really a lot of different types of Qigong or Qi skill. And so let's say that you want to divide it into roughly 5 categories. The first group would be belonging to fire element, so you're talking about all the Shengong or spirit practices, which would include your Zen meditation, clearing the mind. That's a huge undertaking. First achieving mindlessness, then mindfulness, and then let's see what else would go. Kundalini yoga would belong in there. The microcosmic orbit, anything that involves really controlling the upper chakras from the crown down to the heart chakra. Then when we move on to the earth element, here we're talking about actual exercises because the earth element controls the muscles. Muscles are capacitors of both Qi and spirit. They don't hold as much spirit Qi as, say, the chakras do, but they can control. And we see sometimes people are born with an exceptional amount of spirit Qi, and those people usually turn out to be like phenoms of sports. There's some indescribable quality that people are attracted to, whether they're Muhammad Ali or Michael Jordan, Samson, these kinds of people throughout history, Hercules, they have just this raw physicality. So there is something happening where they are receiving more charge and their muscles are just naturally tuned in. There are cases of people who have nearly died and they come back and they're just able to be physically super strong. Or perhaps geniuses too, right? It depends on where the energy goes. All right, so then after that, we're talking about the metal element and the workings of, the Po, which are in the lungs. I would say here is a good chance to start, really working with breath tuning. Breath tuning means that there are different ways of moving the breath and different types of breathing that make the Qi either go up, go down, go in, go out. Whether you're doing blowhole breathing or breathing out the ears or cleansing some object or making the Qi go in and out, like through the skull and back into the skull. You can do in the Hunyuan Qigong, there's a part where you expand and then you contract. Of course, on the physical level and the earth level, you're actually stressing the bones out. But here I'm actually talking about the Qi going out and then compressing and penetrating. This is the metal phase, right? So penetrating all the way deep down through the bone, imagining the bone having pores and packing those bones full of your Qi. Okay, now this requires breath work. There's no other way to do it. You can't get injected with Qi. Then moving along to the water phase. Water is associated with winter and it's associated with the root of all life. So here we're talking about Tao and Taoist alchemy in particular. So any kind of work between water and fire, or quote, turning lead into gold, mercury and lead, dragon and tiger, tiger and rabbit. These kinds of metaphors all have to do with transmutation of sexualized energy that normally belongs in the Qi Hai or the lower Dantian into spirit energy, which is up here. So now we're talking from here down as opposed to the Shengong, which was here up. Does that make sense? And you should rotate these, right? Everything is a yin-yang, so you should be going around. And finally, continuing over to the wood element. Wood element is associated with the Hun and with growth. So you here have things like yoga, Dao Yin, which is guiding the yin out, stretching, moving, using the soul, moving the mind around, moving the mind from the intellect back into the ocular area, controlling the amount of illumination to control the amount of wood burning into fire, making sure that your sinews are stretched and loose and that anger and other energies, emotions mostly, are not stuck in the muscles. Remember, because wood digs into earth, so we have to be careful if the muscles are being over-engaged, especially gallbladder type people, but a lot of types. It's just that gallbladder type is on my mind because of spring. And continually shaping wood, carving, but not disrespecting the wood. It grows more, but you don't want to overdo it. And there's a good relation here with metal, in that the breath tuning helps to chop wood and keep anger and keep emotions from getting stuck inside the body. So you use the breath tuning to cleanse the soul, clear the soul. You can practice the relationship of fire controlling metal, then controlling wood, by using the Secret of the Golden Flower and shining up this heart chakra. And then, of course, you're back around to spirit meditation, because you've made a full range. And remember, then the exercises between fire and earth, it would include cardiovascular exercise, creating a powerful cardiac wave that goes and it moves fluid along. You've got to pump your legs, because the legs don't have a heart below to pump things back up. You've got to move them in order to help things to move along. And having healthy glutes and abs are absolutely vital. That's why, whether it's calisthenics or bagua, you need something that's going to stretch you, twist you, and pump old fluid and old blood out of organs and out of tissues, and that will, by necessity, when it expands, will draw in cleaner fluids. So fluid metabolism is a part of your energy work. Every day I go through a systems checkup. I check in the whole body. I miss things too. This is I'm not perfect here. I'm not some kind of smart scan software, but I do go through the whole body, and I make sure that everything is working and is turned on while you're asleep. The changes are happening. The universe is rearranging. Your body's experiencing things. I had a patient who, woke up Friday, and the beginnings of summer damp were kind of coming, and anyways, his small intestine was just totally blocked. Ended up in the hospital. These are not things that he didn't do anything. The environment changed. His body reacted to it by spasming, and these muscles, remember that they are going to they live in the now all the time. You and I, we travel back and forth in time, and we project into alternate mind spaces, and we dream and we imagine and we go astral and we do all these things. But the body lives. It's like that tree in the picture. It lives in the now, and so when those changes happen, it'll seize up. I had a patient who may have gone from stage 1 to stage 3 degenerative disc instantly, and the sin that she did was she worked out on a day when her back was already a little bit tight. She didn't do anything extreme. She was just doing lunges. So this energy work is not just about spirit meditation and achieving oneness and things like that. It is about very practical, achieving very practical results every day. Systems checkup. I'm going to create a systems checklist that I use for me as best I can. I have a number of projects going on. I have a new book idea, so I'm going to try and create that today. It may take me to the end of the week, though, to get everything I would use. It'd be best if you kept the link, and then my checklist might grow over time as the new things that I didn't realize I was doing, and that gets added to the list. It will be a surprisingly long list. Don't feel daunted. You can always go to a massage therapist or an acupuncturist or somebody else to kind of help you have an objective overview to your body. Okay? Thank you very much.